Here we have the posterior view of the skull, which is also called the Norma Occipitalis. In the Norma Occipitalis, we have the two parietal bones. Between them is the sagittal suture. The squamous part of the occipital bone, between the squamous and the parietal bones, is the lambdoid suture. We have the mastoid process of the temporal bone. These are the mastoid processes of the temporal bone. The mastoid process, between the mastoid process and the occipital bone, we have the occipitomastoid suture. This is the occipitomastoid suture. This is the parietomastoid suture between the parietal bone and the mastoid process of the temporal bone. The parietomastoid suture. These three sutures, the parietomastoid, the occipitomastoid, and the lambdoid, they join to form the osteron. Now in the occipital bone, we have this protuberance. This is called the external occipital protuberance. And we have the curved ridges. The one extending from the external occipital protuberance is called the superior nuchal line. These curved ridges, they are known as nuchal lines. The one from the external occipital protuberance is the superior nuchal line. The one below the superior nuchal line is called the inferior nuchal line. And there is also a faint supreme or highest nuchal line, which is not really visible here, but you can feel it. From the external occipital protuberance to the foramen magnum, we have this line, the external occipital crest, also called the median nuchal line. So the external occipital protuberance, the median nuchal line, the inferior nuchal line, the superior nuchal line, and the supreme nuchal line. The supreme nuchal line has the attachment for epicranial aponeurosis. It is the toughest layer of the skull. The epicranial aponeurosis is attached on the supreme nuchal line. The superior nuchal line has the attachments for muscles like the trapezius, the sternocleidomastoid, and it also separates the scalp from the neck. The inferior nuchal line has the attachment for muscles like for the suboccipitalis, deep suboccipitalis muscles. So here we had the epicranial aponeurosis. Here it was the boundary between the scalp and the neck, separated the scalp and the neck, and had the sternocleidomastoid, the trapezius muscles. Here we had the deep suboccipitalis muscles. Now, the mastoid processes have the mastoid or digastric notch, which is basically where the digastric muscle attaches, the attachment point for the digastric muscle. This is the mastoid. Medial to it, we have the digastric notch. We also have the mastoid foramen. This mastoid foramen, it transmits the emissary veins and the meningeal vessels from the occipital artery. So this was all about the Norma Occipitalis.